In today's episode, Joe asks, what's the difference between an event and a conversion event in Google Analytics 4? One's a conversion. Now, everything in Google Analytics 4 is an event. That's one of the things that is so different about the software from the previous version. The previous version of Google Analytics, GA3 or Universal Analytics, had 4 what are called scopes, right? The hit or the page view, the session, the user, and then the shopping thing. And the dimensions and metrics for each of these scopes were largely incompatible with each other, which made for some really challenging reporting. If you've ever tried to put together a Data Studio dashboard with Google Analytics 3, you will have probably seen the error message saying these are incompatible dimensions and metrics, and your report blows up. In Google Analytics 4, because everything is an event, that is largely a thing of the past. So everything's an event, from how fast you scroll to how far down the page you've read to what you click on to a visit to a user. All of those things are events. The metrics we're used to, like sessions and users, are really aggregated roll-ups of events that are happening. So in Google Analytics 4, you can configure and set up to 500 different events of any kind in the software. Plus, it collects a basket of its own events, by default. Of that, in the web interface for Google Analytics 4, it's under Configure. You would then choose up to 30 of those events to be denoted as conversions. So when these 30 things happen, up to 30 things happen, these are conversions. And those are obviously the things that, for example, somebody fills out a landing page or subscribes or checks out of the shopping cart or whatever the case may be. Once somebody does something of value, that is a conversion event in Google Analytics 4. The challenge that a lot of folks are going to have with this is that you have to set the event value at the time the event is created. So it's not something like in Google Analytics 3, you set up a goal and a goal value. In Google Analytics 4, that has to be done in Tag Manager, because hopefully you're using Google Tag Manager to do all of the things like goal conversions. I keep calling them conversions. And then you assign the dollar value of the conversion within Tag Manager. So there's no way to denote that in Google Analytics 4. But that's the main difference. It really is just you have 500 events that you can customize. You get the basket of whatever events are built in the box, and then you get up to 30 conversion events. So once you start collecting data on your website, you'll see a list of events in Google Analytics 4, and then you just check the little slider next to the events that you say, this is a conversion. And what Google Analytics 4 will then do is, in all of its reporting and all of its analysis tools, it will then look for an event value and be able to present to you things like revenue and stuff that's built in. So that's the difference. Get used to doing a lot of stuff in Tag Manager, because that's where conversion events and all events now are generated for Google Analytics 4. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon.